Let me tweet.
What's up, Stick Squad? Today, we are recapping what went down in college lacrosse this weekend. Down goes the Irish. Princeton slapped the entire state of North Carolina in the face. Cornell almost went down. We got some PLL talk, and we got a lot more to talk about. But you can find every episode of Stick Talk on YouTube and Spotify. Make sure to follow the squad on Instagram at Stick Talk Lax and on X at Stick Talk _Lax. Last thing, don't forget to share the podcast with someone and interact with us online. You know we love that. But that's all I got for you guys. Let's get into it.
Go, big plays. Tied up, splits the double with 8. She's going to get a shot off. Are you kidding me?
Yes, sir. We are back after a big weekend of college lacrosse. But boys, before we get into talking about college lacrosse, let me just do a check-in on my boys. How you guys doing?
Chilling, living life.
Doing great, man. Living better.
Doing all right. You know, it's been a busy day, but I'm glad to be talking stick with the boys.
Yes, sir. You almost you gonna get through it, bro. You good?
See, I call
Appreciate
I call it stick talk, but I also call it therapy, bro, because I can't afford a therapist, but I could afford talking to my boys right now about some lacrosse.
That's real.
For the price of a microphone.
Right?
It's so real.
We don't need therapy. We just talk lacrosse with our friends.
Yeah, that's right.
That's it. That's it. You know, I mean,
That's very
IYKYK.
You
know,
You didn't have to abbreviate it. You can
IYKYK. You
You
know,
can just say it.
How many
right.
times you practice that?
Hey, I've been doing it.
I would have tripped up if I had to say that.
No, that's why I'm like, you for sure had to practice that.
Yo,
You get a mirror like
crazy.
In the mirror.
All right. But speaking of practice, you know who's been killing it during practice? Princeton University.
Come
Those
on.
Wow.
Jersey
Okay.
boys are here,
All right.
and they're here to
All right.
stay. Princeton just went on a North Carolina tear and beat UNC 14-12 and beat Duke 15-14. Some nail biter games. Guys, what you guys thinking about Princeton this weekend?
Let me just say, I had the receipts. I showed y'all the receipts. I told you exactly what was going to happen.
you did.
Back-to-backs. Called it to the
Verbatim,
game.
too.
Verbatim. Called the whole
Bar
scenario.
for bar.
Just for
Yeah.
all y'all, because y'all in the chat, y'all listening. So what I said was Princeton's going to go 2-0. And both Carolina teams going to go 1-1. Penn's going to go 0-2. And it's, to me, it's because of how the games were arranged. I didn't think UNC had the legs to compete with a very strong Princeton team on the second day of that back-to-back. But if they play on Friday instead of Sunday, I think UNC wins that game.
Yeah. Okay.
I
I mean,
that's
the
an
way-
interesting take. I like that take though, because it really encapsulates the fact that it's not even just the matchups. It's the whole context of who you played before. I think
How
I
that
think
game went.
how
Yeah.
that game went. I think that's a very important factor when we're talking about whether or not a team is going to win a game or not. I think a lot of people don't take that into consideration, and I think that's a very important distinction to make. It's like, if the game's a different day or they play somebody else differently at a different time, that's a completely different outcome for sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
Shout out Princeton because I wasn't too sure because it's funny because a couple of is it last week or 2 weeks ago we were talking about the Ivy and shout out to Interested. I had made a comment that I was like the Ivy League might only be like a one big league and then he put Cornell exists and he misinterpreted what I was saying. I wasn't saying that I was saying Cornell was the one team because I wasn't sure Princeton had that dog in them. And I think that's the takeaway from this weekend is they were gritty. You know that overused lacrosse term that the suburban kids love to use. But they showed fight.
Yeah.
They Coach Mackesy said you can be on my back. I got you. Nicky Berry played well. Their defense played well. Like Colin Molson and everybody. That's what surprised me was that you had these 2 games in 3 days. You're playing ranked teams and they had that fight and they were punching and they took some punches and they fought back and I was just like, okay, yeah. That now when people were talking about now you've earned to me that top 5 ranking where some people were saying that, yo, that could be a national championship contender. Y'all, okay. Now you did what you needed to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was at the Princeton Maryland game last weekend or 2 weeks ago or whatever. And I got sold on Maryland from that game, but from Princeton, I kind of lost some juice off of them after that Maryland game. But it was
Yeah.
2 things. Like I kind of didn't recognize how good Maryland actually was, which we found out this weekend, one. And I didn't give Princeton their credit, but there ain't no questioning now how good Princeton is after going on a road trip like that.
Yeah. Did
Now-
exactly what you needed to do.
It's a very impressive 2 wins from Princeton.
For
Very
sure.
impressive. 2 wins from Princeton. I watched mostly that UNC game, the UNC Princeton game. And if I'm a UNC fan, I'm not upset about the way UNC played.
But you're nervous though.
I don't think so.
Because remember last week, I don't think UNC. I'll be the because I know Diggs is big and he's been mentioning UNC. I don't think how they play is sustainable to get them to May because they run off the backs of 2 people, and it bit them in the butt this week when they played Princeton, where
They have a depth issue.
yeah, Owen Duffy had to struggle to get to those 3 goals. The way I'm looking at it is when you're playing them, I'm okay with Owen Duffy having 3 goals on 11 shots. And if Don Pitchermile is going to do the same thing, it's a similar thing where if he's going to get 2 or 3 goals and he's taking 10, 11, 12, 13 shots, if you guys are shooting 5 for 21, 5 for 23 or something like that, I'm okay with that as a defense if I can stop everybody else. And I think there'd be weeks like they looked good when they beat Penn because Dom and Owen Duffy didn't have to do everything. So I'm like, that's how you would prefer that they play. But when a team kind of go punch for punch with them, they go back into give Owen the ball and everybody get out the way. And to me, I don't feel like that's sustainable to go through the year. Could be wrong.
I want to read this to you real quick. All right. 3 players on this team had 31 shots on UNC. There were 3 players. It was Duffy, Ty English, and Petra. 31 shots. How many goals do you think they had?
When they played Princeton?
When UNC played Princeton.
Each player had 31
6.
each.
No, 31 total. 31 total shots.
I think it was 6 because Owen, I think, had 3, Dom had 2, and Ty had 1.
So it was 8. It was 8 goals on them. So they were essentially 8 for 31. Okay. And the last thing is, guess how many shots total the team was?
Probably 10 to 15 more. So
I'll give him 48.
You're right there, Diggs. 31 out of the 47 total shots were from those 3.
yeah.
Okay. But I'm actually not mad about 8 for 31. Not too crazy upset about it.
No.
It's low.
It's-
It's low. I would like a 33% shot percentage at least.
Definitely.
But you don't want that from 3 players, though. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
Like, when
Right.
you're
I think it
playing
matters in
better
context.
teams. Yeah.
Brian, that matters in context. I think that's kind of what you were going to say is like, if you're taking 31 shots and scoring 25%, okay. But like, I think the rest of the team needs to add more than 16 shots to that.
Right.
Like if the rest of the team is adding 25 shots and then the rest of the team goes 30%, what kind of game are we looking at?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, Princeton did look really good, though. I think when I was watching Princeton offense, I was watching their attack mostly initiate that whole time. You know, they're attack heavy with that Nate Kabiri and
Coulter
Mackesy down there. But their mids were cooking.
Bro, that one, what's the dude's name? 21.
Colombo?
Carson Kramer. Dude was they said he was like 6'5", like
Beast.
240. And I hate when lacrosse announcers always like take dudes that are slightly above average size and be like, that's an NFL tight end. NFL tight ends are not 6 feet 220. Stop it. He's like legit, like for him, like he's like a Miles Jones size dude. I was like, that's a big boy. And he can shoot.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. But the UNC game, Princeton game was cool too. but the announcer curse came in this game. My man goes, "You're starting to see North Carolina oppose their will when North Carolina was up by 2." After he said that, Princeton scored 20 seconds after. They scored again. They scored again. And they scored again. Went on a 4-0 run after he said that, and that's when the tide shift, man. And I'm like, yo, if you don't shut the hell
up. Job's not finished, man.
Yeah. Job's not finished.
Job done?
Man.
And what's there to be happy about?
RIPB.
No, that's crazy.
I know, man.
The announcer curse is real.
That is real.
I got to remember that when I go to Texas in May. I need to.
Yeah,
I've done that to a couple of teams at MCLAs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to cut that out. My fault to anyone I've done that to.
It's crazy that happened in that game, but UNC loses that one to Princeton. Okay, but who Princeton played last week got to play against the number 1 team in the country this weekend. I'm talking about the Maryland Notre Dame game. Now, what did you guys think about this game? What a wild game. I just want to say here, shameless plug, I was the only one who picked Maryland. So,
I'm so glad you brought that up.
Glad
you brought that up. Okay. Here's why.
Tell him how we do, Shane. Tell him how we do.
First of all,
yapping afterward.
First of all, you were so confident, like, oh yeah. First of all, there's no reason why you should be anywhere near that confident for 2 1-goal games. 2 1-goal games. Who cares? It could have gone either way. Don't sit here and claim to be, oh, yeah, I got it under control. I'm like that. It was a 1-goal game. Both of them, 1-goal game. We're not talking about no blowout. We're talking about a 1-goal game. And you're like, yeah, you should have seen me. And then guess what? You proceeded to lose out for the rest of the weekend. So I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Which is crazy. You are
doing too much of this.
Essentially 2 goals away from going 0-5. You are 2 goals away from going 0-5. I don't want to hear it. You're crazy.
Hey,
look, son, he's like, right.
Shane, you are wrong. You are wrong. First of all, Shane, you're wrong. Okay. You're wrong. I won the Notre Dame. I won the next game. I went
Which
3-2 this week. I won
Which
3-2
one?
this week.
Which one? Which one? What's the third game you won?
But I went 3-2. Okay.
Which is the third game you won?
Oh, the Cornell. You got the Cornell. You got the Cornell one because you all got the Cornell one.
Yeah, I got the Cornell one.
But that's one of the one games though, because they should have lost that game.
Dog,
what if
Richmond won that game?
What did you say?
What if Richmond won that game, y'all?
Yo, if Richmond pulled that off, the college lacrosse world would have been flipped upside down because if Notre Dame won, if Notre Dame lost and Cornell lost the same weekend, that's a lot to handle right there.
It was an announcer curse because DJ from the Outside the Box podcast goes on Twitter and goes, "Can we talk about Richmond season?" The moment he tweets it out, "Can we talk about Richmond season?" 30 seconds later, Cornell scores. 30 seconds later, CJ Kerr scores, and then they have another goal. They lost. I'm like, why you ain't wait till the game was over to say that, man?
It ain't over till the fat lady sings, man. Really isn't.
That was a good game, though.
It was a good game.
But Maryland, but
Maryland game.
Back to Maryland.
They do what they do, man. They win. They're the ugly team, and I mean that in the best way possible because their entire thing is we'll get goals from because they don't have anybody that scares you on their offense. That's not a diss. They don't, but we can consistently, we have like 8-9 goal scorers. This player give you 2 goals. Like Erickson might give you 2. Spanos will give you 2 and 3 assists. And they just go right down the line. And then we're going to play solid defense. Possibly we're going to defensive midfielder to score. We're going to pole goal. And they do it every single week. And they can
Spanos is different, man.
Spanos is different. Eric's
I've been waiting for him to catch fire. I've been waiting.
Yeah, Spanos is different.
Yeah, he's been.
I remember watching Spanos
back in the day. Yeah,
he might be that one. Yeah, he might be.
He was
that
him
one.
and Melbourne Prep, dog.
Yeah, he was. He really was like that.
I don't watch high school lacrosse.
So
But
that
I
knows
mean,
there to let you know.
you've seen his, and that man's worn a left knee brace his entire lacrosse career. I feel like I've been watching that man. It's actually impressive how good he's maintained and been able to be like that. He's solid. I remember when Urksa was a freshman, he was still doing some crazy things. He was a starter at Maryland as a freshman, so it was only a matter of time before he started kind of figuring it out with Spanos. Like that. I hate to say it, that team is good, man. They're good. They're a very good team. They're gonna make it back up there, but they're playing like they felt like, all right, we got to make up for it after last year. We got to really handle business. And Logan.
Yo, I told y'all this. I said something about this one of the episodes about how we always forget about Logan McNaney.
Yeah.
And
hold on. I got a Logan McNaney take. He was good, and then he got injured. When he came back from injury, he was not good.
Mm-hmm.
He played some really bad games, and
Mm-hmm.
Rupel outplayed him. What was that? 2 years ago, Rupel was in cage, and that boy Rupel was dancing.
Mm-hmm.
He made one of the best like back-to-back saves I've ever seen in my life.
Oh,
he
yeah.
is like
Virginia?
the top 5 goalie highlight I've ever seen. Yeah, against Virginia.
Oh, yeah.
When he got up and stuffed Evans
Kind of low,
from his knees.
Oh, yeah.
Son.
Crazy. Different.
Rupel was fantastic for Maryland. So for Logan McNaney to go through having a good season, then getting hurt, then getting benched, then having like a down stretch in the season, and then to come back, get put on number 1, and then do his number 1 thing in the cage.
Yeah.
I got to give that man his props.
Yeah, that's mental fortitude for sure.
They have I couldn't remember. Is he the first one to get a number 1 as the goalie for Maryland?
First goalie in Maryland history.
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely.
Yeah. No, that's different. Because so it was Brett Makar, who was number 1, right? And then now that's kind of that says a lot.
Brett had it, and then Ajax had it. Who?
Yeah.
And then
Brett
Yeah, going back to back polls.
Jared, Brett, Ajax, and then Logan.
Well, that's awesome. McNaney is a problem, man. Would you guys consider him probably the best goalie right now in college lacrosse?
I think
you have to.
Yeah, strength of it.
I think having
100%.
him changed the whole game of that Notre Dame game, man. I think they were the only person I saw hitting outside shots was Jordan Faison, 2 jumpers. And
he's so freaking
He's
athletic,
such
man.
a freak of nature, bro.
He's so freaking athletic.
Yo, he would just split, leave his man, jump shot. But
leaving catch.
What else do you need?
Still the difference between football speed and lacrosse speed.
No, that's because he doesn't need a deep bag.
No.
He doesn't need a deep bag, and if he
I'm more
starts to work on it,
that's all. I'm more athletic than you. That's all that matters.
You see, he said, "I'm going to go that way, and there's nothing you can do about it."
The best dodge in the sport. That's the best dodge in the whole sport.
Yeah,
bro.
I can get there faster than you can.
All the time. I'm more athletic than you, John. He does the Mikey Slaughter. I'm faster than you.
What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
Yep.
What are you gonna do? And if you give me a short stick, I'm gonna make sure your coach calls a timeout. 100%.
Exactly.
Dude, is that your damn dog?
You can hear her?
Yep.
Yeah. I was about to look outside my damn window.
I don't know what she's barking at. Is it loud?
No.
It's over now.
It's all right.
She's doing her, like, my wife is home bark. That's her, like, someone I know is outside. So she's probably out in the car just waiting inside.
It's all right. It's all right. But yeah, McEnany is a dog. You know what else though? I don't think Notre Dame played well at all.
They were sloppy.
I don't think they were so sloppy. There was one possession where shot clock was winding down. Spanos carries the ball down the alley as the clock winding down, and he throws the ball backside as the clock expires, and they score off of it. And that's just like uncharacteristic because they're not playing until the shot clock expires, and they just gave up on the play, right? Mm-hmm. And there was another one where Maryland scores when they're shorthanded. It's like that's not the Notre Dame I know.
Yeah. Yo, Twitter went off when they did that with their like the John Tillman. They're like, did Maryland just score a goal, man down? Like, what is happening? What alternate reality are we in right now?
Yeah, that's different. But Maryland did play well. Once again, like they're Maryland, man. They'll muck it up. They'll find a way to make it happen, and that's exactly what they did.
Yeah, they're the epitome of muck it up because I know like it's used a lot, but they really are like that's that muck it up Maryland, and it just makes sense when you say it.
By any means necessary. It's just how that team plays, and you got to respect it, man.
It ain't gonna be pretty. Yeah, not a whole lot of.
Yeah, they don't give a damn.
Center,
like it don't have to be pretty.
Instagramming.
Did we get in the dub column next?
Yeah,
exactly.
I don't care.
Just stacking W's. Respect. I can respect it.
It wasn't pretty, but whatever. You know what else wasn't pretty? Was Cornell's game against Richmond. I don't understand how Richmond came out to a 6-0 lead against Cornell. I'm not putting any disrespect on Richmond, but this is how I'm looking at Cornell as one of those teams that are far above everybody else, besides, the top 3 or 4. And Richmond just came out guns blazing.
Richmond is good because when they beat UVA, all of a sudden UVA is the worst team in history of existence. And I'm like, and Shane was saying it too. Shane was like, nah, Richmond, he put it in the group chat. It wasn't because UVA lost to Richmond. He was like, yo, Richmond is good. Like,
Richmond is good.
They said that a long time ago.
I did say that. I don't know why people were acting like Richmond was just like a little brother. Like, no. I thought they looked good last year too. And I'm seeing them this year. I was like, they might could do something actually. Like the way, dude, I'm telling you, there's so much parity in Division I lacrosse. It's so good all the way around that some of these teams that are not non-traditionally like top tier teams are emerging, and rightfully so. Richmond is playing good lacrosse. Richmond was playing good lacrosse. Also, like just watching the way that they were playing against Cornell, I was like, yeah, you're just playing. It's not even that Cornell was playing poorly. It was like, no, they're just playing better.
Yep.
They're just playing much better. And it was very clear to me. I was like, dude, so, when everyone was like, oh yeah, are you going to panic just because you lost to Richmond or UVA lost to Richmond? I was like, no, Richmond is a good team. Ohio State was a good team. I wasn't tripping.
Yeah, they're good. They bottled up CJ Kurtz for probably 44 minutes. And when it mattered, he did what he does. But it was like, I'm just watching them. I'm like, they're really well coached. They're very prepared.
They are.
Cornell. They made Cornell's offense look pedestrian for most of the game.
Those kids are good. Yeah. They're good players. I was, again, you have to get away. Like, we have to get away from the brand name of lacrosse. Just because you see a name that has routinely done really well in Division I lacrosse, that does not mean that if they're playing a team that doesn't do traditionally well, that they're just going to roll them. Like, they still have to come out and play hard. They still have to come out and have a game plan. And don't let these people fool you. Whenever they're playing, when Cornell was playing Richmond, or when Cornell was preparing for Richmond, they were taking them seriously. Naturally so. Their coach was watching film and understood who was who and all of that. Don't sit here and just go, oh yeah, they're just going to roll the balls out and just beat them off the strength of the name.
Yeah,
no.
Dan Shamati, he a good coach, man.
Yeah.
Well, it says a lot about Cornell coming back from a 6-goal game too, and it shows a lot about the leadership that Buchek has and CJ Kurtz or what's the name? CJ Kurtz.
Yeah, because they could have laid down and be like, "Oh, damn, here we go again."
That's
like the SU game last year when they came back from being down by 6 goals.
Yeah.
Oh shit! I almost forgot about that. That's crazy.
What y'all think the gap between Cornell and Princeton is?
Oh, that's a good question.
That's a really good question.
I think it's bigger than people think.
What team are you putting above? You're putting Princeton above Cornell? Or
no,
you putting
Cornell.
Oh, really?
I think
that gap is bigger than people think.
Wow.
You think that if Cornell and Princeton play, Princeton is waxing?
No, I don't think they're beating them by. I don't think they win by any more than 3 goals.
Okay,
I think 3 goals is probably the max margin, like a 14-11 game.
All right.
But a comfy 3, you're saying?
Yeah, a comfy 3.
Like they get up early, they score, you score, they score, you score type thing.
Yeah, they don't let Princeton get runs. You know, I think that if they play each other, I think that gap is bigger than people think personally. But I mean, the reason I asked that is because Princeton's the obvious number 2 in the Ivy. So just curious what people thought.
I think
I can't tell you if I want to say it's that big of a gap because Cornell Richmond was their first test. Because I'm like, I can't really put that much stock in y'all blowing out like Hobart and Lehigh. No disrespect to Hobart and Lehigh.
Yeah, you're gonna get a good look next week when they play against Penn State.
True.
Yeah.
I might need my words. I might need my words next week.
Yeah, you might.
Penn State play.
It's not a
And I'm okay with
it's
that.
not a crazy take though.
Yeah.
I think last week I would have agreed with you, but it's like you're seeing Richmond's game plan. Because I was thinking like, oh my Cornell about to put up like 15, 16 on everybody the whole year, but they still won. That's the crazy thing too. Yeah. That's the scary part about that Cornell loss. Whereas Richmond looked really good, but it's like everything didn't go well. And we were down by 6 and we still won. That's the scary part for the Cornell. Like, okay.
Yeah.
And CJ Curry still be like, okay, because we have the last couple minutes, he had the goal and the assist. I think it was the go-ahead assist that he had too. Where like, you can do everything you want. And you're still going to lose.
That's just having a difference maker on your team.
Mm-hmm.
That's what that is, right? It's like, I mean, again, like if he's not in there, it's different, man. It's a different game entirely. I think, yeah, I'd have to agree with that. Yeah, Lee, I'd have to agree. That's really close.
Yeah, I wasn't sure, Diggs, what you were saying, if you thought Cornell was better or Princeton was better. I was ready to say I'm taking Princeton right now.
By how many goals?
Exactly what you said.
Yeah.
But Princeton.
Yeah. Three is fair, but I think that game is going back and forth. I don't think we're going to see the same kind of thing that Richmond did where they put up 6. It was like 6-1 in the first quarter.
They
I
play each other in 2 weeks.
Perfect.
Where's that
That's
game?
gonna be a
At
great game.
Princeton? Oh, it's at Cornell?
It's in Ithaca, yeah.
Damn, that's a long ride for me.
You ain't going to no Ithaca.
Maybe I might. It might be another Scotty on site, huh?
You
You can't tell me what I'm gonna do and what I'm not gonna do, Diggs. Where's the closest game to you?
That's a good trip if you go.
See, now you just hurt. Now you hit me in the sensitive areas, Scotty. Now you hit me where it hurts.
Yo, I've been to 3 different college lacrosse games, 3 different schools this year, and in Connecticut, and 2 different Jersey schools. How many college lacrosse games have you been to this year?
There's only so many things that are trash about living on this side of the country. That is at the top of the list. That I can't drive to good lacrosse games in the spring.
And you said
also,
it in the chat. You said
not good lacrosse games. You mean Division I lacrosse games? Because there's a lot of good lacrosse games all over California.
There's a lot of league.
No, I mean, yeah, but no, not specifically. Is not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the fact that there's great MCLA teams, Cal, UCSB, San Diego State. There's a lot of really good MCLA teams out here.
Cal Poly is nice this year too.
Cal Poly is real nice this year.
Cal Poly nice.
Do not sleep on Cal Poly. Do not sleep on UC Santa Barbara. That is a fact.
Speaking of club lacrosse, your boy, head coach of Rutgers club lacrosse team, went 2-0 this weekend.
When did you start
the time to do this? Yeah. When did that? Yeah,
what?
I saw that event. What?
Yo, what did Lil Wayne say? Real G's move in silence like lasagna.
You didn't put it in the chat or nothing?
You just,
I put it on my story. I put it on my story.
Yeah,
but you don't.
I'm on the internet like that.
You know what? You for sure just showed up and say, "Hey, you need a coach." Real quick?
See, that's crazy, bro.
Because
that's crazy.
It's not unlike Scotty to just be like,
"Yo,
hey,
Diggs,
what y'all doing?"
I'm pretty sure I told you when we were in DC that I was coaching Rutgers.
Subtle flex when we were in DC.
But you know, some people listen, some people don't.
That's
I'm okay.
Crazy.
Wow.
Yeah,
it's all right.
Now it's my fault.
Yo, and it's kind of crazy how I just tell you guys, yo, I'm 2-0 as a club lacrosse coach, and none of you guys go, yo, congrats, bro. That's good for you.
No.
The first thing because we need to get some stuff straight first. I didn't even know you were doing this in the first place.
You know
No,
what?
I didn't say anything because I wasn't sure if you were joking. You were just like, I'm like, were you
I
just
think
at the
I knew he
game?
was being real. I just didn't know why. Like, where do you have the time to do this?
Yeah, Scotty
No.
got no reason to cap about that.
Right.
I
That's a
got
real Scotty
listen.
thing.
I don't have time, but I can't say no to things. I have a
That's
hard
fair.
time.
I understand
A
that. I
hard
get
time.
that
I'm-
wholeheartedly. Yeah.
You know, I'm not, but I wouldn't joke about that. But I did think the Blue Jays were joking about losing to UVA earlier, bro, that they were going to lose at UVA. They came within 1 goal.
Yo, he's got to get out of here.
Diggs was like, yo, let me leave.
Nah,
Yeah, I just
nah.
I want to know how much both Shane and Mike
Time
had
out.
like stuff ready, and that was like
I
erasing
was
like
ready.
deleting, writing
I
stuff,
was
deleting
ready.
it.
I was ready. And then I was literally playing. I was playing golf. I was at the driving range right before I was about to start my tee time, and I was like this whole time, just like this, just waiting. And then all of a sudden, it just got worse, and I was like, God. We really snatched victory, or we snatched defeat from the jaws of victory. We
You
snatched
did
defeat
say
from the
that.
jaws of victory because
That's
it
a
was
crazy
looking.
analogy.
It's true. We were doing so well. We were rolling. I was like, okay, we got a little something for somebody. And at the same time, I also was like, if we lose this game, I'm not really pumped about it. Like, if we win this game, I'm not really pumped about it because I'm like, Hopkins is not playing well right now at all. I was not happy with that. I was like, damn. Like, I want it to be like, okay, Hopkins is playing well, but Virginia's playing better. That's what I want. I don't want to see. It was like Hopkins was not playing well. Virginia, and then we just started to
That's real.
we just started to just it was just horrible towards the end. I was like, dude, what are we doing? What are we doing? So much desperation. So much desperation. I was like, oh God. But and I'm sure it's good for the people who, again, I'm still not panicking because that's a great sign. Hopkins is still number 6. Okay. That's still a fantastic team. And we lost by 1 goal. We lost by 1 goal. I'm not panicking. Now, I think our goalie situation is getting figured out slowly but surely. We're getting figured out. But I think, again, too many people are forced to be the guy that are not ready to be the guy. And that's just what's going to happen when you subtract the guy. And that was Shelley. When he's gone, it's like, damn, I really got to do this myself, huh?
How many times was he a first team All-American?
And how many positions?
Like Casey Powell at 2 positions.
Yeah. It's hard. It's hard.
Why were people acting like that wasn't going to be that big? That's what I'm saying. Like, why were people acting like that wasn't going to be that big of a deal? It's not apples to apples. 5-star Connor Schellenberger, 5-star McKay McMillan. That's not how that works, man.
Nah,
it's not Kentucky basketball. Like, it's different.
No.
Yo, so in one of our other chats that were in, Scotty, you remember someone talking about the Kerwan effect?
Yes, I do.
It said
on Kerwan, man.
Kerwan was coaching up that offense at UVA.
He really had it,
and he called it. This person, I don't want to say his name. I don't know if he's comfortable because he's not putting it out there himself, so I'm not gonna say his name. But he was like, what did he say? He called it. He was like, oh yeah, I mean, he was at Brown for 2 years, 2015, 2016. They went to the Final Four. He went to Virginia. They went on a crazy run and they were nice. And he was like, oh, they're going to Dartmouth next. Yeah, Dartmouth's offense is about to get better, and Virginia's offense is about to take a big hit.
4-1. Dartmouth is 4-1.
Kerwan effect, man.
As soon as that happened, I was like, when he left, I was like, oh, that hurts. That hurts a lot.
That boy might be Major Key.
Yep. Yeah.
You know who you are, and you were right.
Okay.
Diggs.
Figure out who it is.
You how did you feel after this game? I saw some of your tweets, but I just want you to verbalize.
What did he say? He said they got to get out of line after the game.
Everybody, dog, Brian, you took the words right out of my mouth. That was the first thing I was gonna say. Everybody on the line. That's the only like we bring it up. Go get your goalie, come back. Hey, Ray Rod UV on 3, 1, 2, 3. Shake up, come back. Everybody on the line.
Yep. Tough.
If you're hurt, stay over there. Everybody else on the line right now. The turnovers, dog.
Yeah.
All the unforced turnover. That's the worst game I've seen Hopkins play probably since 2022.
Jeez.
I haven't seen them play a game that bad in 3 years. It was awful. Awful. Offense was incredibly passive. Didn't help that Russell Melendez got hurt in the first quarter.
Yeah.
But dude, if you're a number 16, you got to figure that part out.
Correct.
So that's not. I'm not going to say, oh, the offense. It's like, yo, it's next man up. If you're the number 6 team in the country, next man up. What's next?
You recruit for a reason,
right? I mean, Chauvet 5 goals. I think Chauvet did a really good job moving with the ball in his stick. I think he needed to show that as a young player. He had the luxury of being basically an off-ball player last year. And then early this year, he's been making his name as an off-ball player, just catching and shooting. He was making some pretty good opportunities for himself with the ball in his stick. He showed promise. He was hitting his shots. A lot of people contributing. Dylan Bauer, Stuart Phillips had a really good game. But just in general, as a unit, too many turnovers, too many unforced errors just in different facets of the game. Defense was asleep at the wheel for most of the game. Like barely just did enough to stay in the game until, Hop could go on that run that they went on. They finally woke up for a quarter and just went on like a 6-goal run. But like, come on, y'all. You want to go to Final Four weekend or not? On the line.
They did have a tough game. Their next game, though, is going to be interesting between you and Syracuse. Hopkins versus Syracuse. Brian and Diggs going to be at it. The chat's going to be active for that game. But if Hopkins has that type of game with that many turnovers, man, it's going to be a tough one.
It's a wrap.
You can't.
If the defense did the way they played. Go ahead, Brian. What were you going to say?
No, I was going to say same thing for Syracuse because Syracuse was really sloppy when they played Utah. It was the same thing, just uncharacteristic turnovers.
Yeah, but they won by 10.
That's what's crazy because they should have won by more than 10. And I'm not saying anything. I'm not saying it to be negative, but they should have won by they should have put 20 up on them.
Yeah. Well, some teams just need to take care of the ball and stop turning the ball over. But this game, if I was dead, would make me turn over in my grave. I'm talking about Rutgers versus St. Joe's. Oh my God!
Yeah, dog. Y'all got Jersey house music out that boy.
Yo, I walked into the game.
Yo,
hype, ready to rock and roll. We had a tailgate, have a good time. Cheers. Walk into the game. Rutgers comes out with 1 goal, bucket. Goalie scores from his own goal, scores 2-0. Place is getting lit. We hype. Here comes St. Joe's. Here comes St. Joe's, man. And you just watch everybody's tail from New Jersey goes in between their legs. And all we can say is this.
Congratulations. You played yourself.
We had it. We thought. And Rutgers did nothing to come back in that game. Yeah, we lost that game 10-5.
11-5.
11-5?
He's taking it straight.
He left. Scotty left at 10-5. That's what happened.
Remember, because he sent out that one message in the group chat. He didn't say nothing. He was like silent for like 3 hours.
Yeah,
I said I can't do this no more, bro. I can't do this no more. I'm planning my whole day around this damn game, and this is what happens to me. It's tough, but I need my Knights to do something, bro. And, people are attacking me now about the Knights, but listen, bro, I'm loyal to my Knights, all right? And I'm hoping we find a way out of this mud. But St. Joe's looked good against us.
Hey, you got Princeton next, right?
Yeah. Jersey on Jersey Crown.
His reaction was like,
oh. That's on Saturday, too?
We got to go to the strong.
That's the game, yeah.
All right, you guys want to go to that game?
Saturday.
That's the one you're at.
Who
you
is
guys
you
want to
guys?
The 2 people that live in California and the one that live in Colorado.
Oh, you got jokes. That's funny.
I'm just kidding.
Oh,
I'm just
man.
kidding.
Oh, you're a jerk, bro.
Oh man,
You're a
what's the
jerk.
weather like over there right now?
Ah! Talk to him.
I'm
Talk to him, Shane.
What's the weather like over there right
I
now?
ain't gonna hold you. It was 67 and sunny here in Colorado. I ain't gonna hold you.
Okay, what about you?
Go ahead, Scotty.
It's dark outside. I don't know.
It's dark outside.
It's dark
Yeah.
Dark outside. What you mean?
Yeah.
It's dark and it's cold as hell, is what it is.
Yeah.
I could wear shorts out there if I wanted to, but I'm not.
Yeah. For
Oh, you
about
gonna be
5
there.
seconds, you're gonna
You
take
gonna
your
be
ass
there,
back
yeah.
inside.
Yeah.
Baby, wait, yeah, you wouldn't.
I'd be taking out the garbage fast as hell right now.
Shoes not even on. You just bending the back of them things, just
Exactly.
You know it's cold when you
Scotty-
breathe like that.
walking in your lady flip flops. Gonna take the trash out.
The part of New Jersey you live, somebody will stop the car and be like, baby, where your pants?
Yeah, people will stop and stare, but it's okay. I'm used to getting looked at all the time. So
Boy.
Yo,
speaking of
That's
getting
your
looked
friend.
at, let's look at some of these other scores from the weekend that we didn't recap. Syracuse beats Utah 15-5. Penn State smokes Yale 15-9. And Harvard beats Marquette 20-16. Colgate does damage to Loyola 18-6. Georgetown beats Brown 13-8. And Ohio State barely escapes Bryant 7-5. You guys got anything else you want to add for that?
Parity wins.
Mm.
Yeah.
And-
I like the clarity.
Nobody's super good. Like that's the thing. I think it's like Maryland, probably Notre Dame, and then the rest of the teams is just like, all right, we'll see as the season goes on. And I'm not mad at it.
You guys want to add anything else, or are you good?
Nope.
Well, I've got
Ooh,
an
yeah,
ad
there's
to
only three.
read
Go ahead.
right here. Check it out. Whether you're gearing up for the season, need fresh gloves, or just want to flex on your teammates with the latest gear, guess who we got for you? Lax.com has you covered. They've got everything from heads and shafts to apparel and training essentials. And here's the best part. They've got pros on deck to string your stick exactly how you like it. So no more excuses, bro. You better hit that damn corner.
Oh.
And did I mention they got fast shipping? So you'll have your gear in hand before your next practice. So do yourself a favor and head to lax.com. Hey, let's give it up for our sponsor, lax.com.
Yeah,
dog.
let's
Let's go.
Let's go.
They're here.
Shout out, man.
They are here. You know, we making moves right now. And speaking of moves, the PLL is making moves
Yeah.
with all this free agency stuff. I'm just going to name a little bit of it. Okay. IDA retired. Nakai got extended. Miles Jones extended. Trevor Baptiste extended. Who else has he? Cole Williams to the Atlas.
Upstate Bulls wacky me
Love
out.
it. I love it.
Cole Williams is nice. And I free agency in the PLL. This might be one of my favorite free agency years in a while for the PLL. There's just so much
It's a good
happening
one.
right now.
People
Who's
actually
going?
switch teams. That's what made it.
Yeah.
It's
I
not
think
just everybody
I've been waiting for that to
resigning.
happen. I've been waiting for that to happen. Like, it's just lacrosse is just that kind of sport where it's like, well, I want to kind of just want to stay with my guys, you know? And I'm
Yeah.
just happy that things are getting switched up. You know, I love that for the league.
You know what I didn't love was Chris Gray retiring. Did not love that.
Not tight.
Yo,
Not
did y'all
tight.
see like how crazy that created an entire dialogue on lacrosse
Yeah.
Twitter that I
We
was
sure
not,
did.
that was very surprising, but actually not surprising.
Yeah. I think a lot of people, nobody
Not
hates
surprised.
lacrosse more than lacrosse players.
Facts.
And I think it's so interesting to me how people are quick to hate on or just try to magnify something that happened. For example, Chris Gray retiring. You could spin that any way you want. You could spin that any way you want. And I think a lot of people spun it as that just shows you how the league's failing. And look, why is this guy retiring in the peak of his career, quote unquote? I just don't understand those type of takes. Like, my man's working on Wall Street.
Yeah.
And it's a new league. Like, What are we talking about here?
And his body is going to be just fine working on Wall Street.
Right.
And
Yeah.
he's going to have his weekends, and
He's not going to get
he's going to have
concussions.
his summers. He's not going to have any concussions. He's going to be able to play lacrosse for fun. I kind of want to bring up something I think is kind of interesting. I think it's interesting, the retirement aspect of the PLL is so different than any of the other sports, because every year somebody retires. And actually, some bodies. It's not just like one or two people. It's like 3 or 4 every year. And for a league that's only, what do you say, about 100 people total. I mean, that's pretty significant for any lacrosse team, especially the ones that do retire. All like contributors, playmakers. Otherwise, they would just literally fall off the face of the planet. And like the official retirement, I think is really interesting. I don't think it's a sign that anything is going on with the league. I just think that, like, I don't know. I just think it's interesting that people are retiring in the PLL, and it happens pretty frequently.
I think the league is getting younger and younger, though. I think
I
as
agree.
these young guns are getting in, people are like, "Oh, hold up," I think that's what it comes down to.
So I'm going to piggyback on that, Scotty. I think the league is getting younger because the PLL is making more players want to play professional.
Correct.
For whatever combination of factors. I mean, people are like, yeah, the whole point of PLL was to pay players a living wage so that they don't have to do anything else. I'm like, okay, but it's year 6, dog. And it's like, it takes a long time. People take pro leagues for granted because we see what happened with the NFL. It's like the NFL was around for 30, 40, 50 years. How long? Well, because it was 2 leagues, the AFL and the NFL. And like both of those were at the point where like pro players had other jobs until after World War II, until up to the 60s. So it's like it takes a long time to get the public to buy into something, a sport that's not like a legacy entertainment product. And I don't get the takes of like this is totally because the players like are making peanuts and the league's lying about. It's like, bro, we're at a point in a sport where that's going to happen. If you have a job on Wall Street, not very many lacrosse players are going to be able to make more than you could make on Wall Street if you have connections and you have the education. Like, what are we talking about? We can be honest with ourselves and still enjoy the product that's in front of us. I just all the takes really dishonest to me.
And even the NFL players don't make NBA money, and even NBA players don't make MLB money. So why are we? It's not apples to apples in any league. Why are we acting like it is? Like and by the way, it should be fine. Like, let's not act like, okay, what we're not going to do is sit here and act like Paul Rabel and Mike Rabel are just snakes out here to just trying to exploit people. I think that they are legitimately trying to do their best to make a league that is going to get there, but the revenue aspect has to be there, and that comes from a multitude of different things. It comes from first of all, expansion. They got to expand. I think the fact that they're going to Japan is a perfect sign of the fact that they're trying to expand the overall reach of the game to a point where they have international sponsorships, international attention, international viewership. On top of the fact that they also really invest in just what I said, viewership. Like they're the ESPN deals. I think they were at Peacock for a while just to get the eyeballs and just to get more people. Because I mean, it's just how do you pay these people if there's no one watching? And how do you get people to watch unless you have some sort of deal where it's getting to this point where it has to be easy for people to watch. Now, obviously, there's no shortage of things that we think we could do, but what are you acting? Why are you talking about it like you want the league to fail? Like
that's what I have. That's exactly what I have a hard time understanding. It's like people talk about the league or just talk so down on the league. It's okay to be critical of the league
for sure.
We
absolutely
should be
okay, but
we should absolutely be critical of it.
But people aren't critical of it they're disingenuous about giving any feedback or being critical about it. Because
That's
when I
how I
was
feel.
saying it's surprising and not surprising, like, oh, 6, 7 years ago was funny because you could the butt of all the jokes was Major League Lacrosse, and now there's not two leagues anymore. So now all those same people that used to crack those jokes about Major League Lacrosse now do it about the PLO, and then it becomes just like we said, nobody loves dunking on professional lacrosse more than former lacrosse players. Like, why would you want this league to fail? The MLO got to where it could go. The Rabel's like, okay, you guys are sputtering now. We're gonna take it from here. There was a 20-year stretch where people are starting to see now, like, yo, maybe Major League Lacrosse wasn't as terrible as everybody thought, that they made it for 20 years. Now the PLL is like that next existence. And it's like you gotta understand what we're talking about, like just with leagues. People always think I'm crazy when I say it, but I'm not. Look at the WNBA. That's the league that they should be looking at, where it was a long stretch where the NBA's, people just make those just goofy and weird about women's sports. I miss me with all of that. But when you're talking about how their income is being supplemented by the NBA and they're using some of their revenue to help with the league now. And now within the last like 3 or 4 years, I think they have like 3 or 4 new franchises. One's going in Shane's neck of the woods. They're starting this summer. The Golden State Valkyries. There's a new team that's coming in Cleveland. Toronto's getting a team. There's been a bid for a team, I think, in Nashville, but they got like 3 or 4 teams. I like watching the league. The Liberty, just like I'm just watching them sell out. They sell out the Brooklyn Nets stadium. The Nets can't sell out the Nets stadium, and they did it consistently, especially in the playoffs. Spike Lee, the Tracy
That's
Morgans,
crazy.
everybody are there. But this is what year 2023, 24 for the WNBA, with help from the bankrolls of the NBA. So it's like, yeah, this is a process that you got to like, there's going to be growing pains. Like, yeah, Chris Gary retiring, it sucks. But I was doing some, my sleuthing where somebody was like, yo, the investment banking analyst job he has can pay 250K. Yeah, dog. If my job telling me I can't leave every weekend. I know everybody's rich on the internet. I'm not, everybody got to be a
Name a lacrosse
WNBA
player that makes 250K.
pure salary from the cross.
Yeah,
not
not from
endorsements.
sponsorships.
So y'all gonna pretend like that? Again, everybody's rich on the internet. Everybody's a millionaire. Got a Maybach in the girl. Like I don't experience that, but I'm like that.
I ain't got it like that. He made
And then
money
there-
moves. Same
Yep.
thing I do.
Exactly.
And
It
that's okay.
happened. Yeah,
And
And
that's
that's
okay.
totally fine.
Yeah.
I'm gonna miss watching him play on TV, but
Yeah. And you know what? It's going to
Okay.
open up an opportunity for a fresh out of college kid to go and do their thing and be able to build their brand the right way and grow with the franchise, grow with the league. That's a good thing. That's an overall net positive for the league, and that's okay. And get into other facets of his life that he cares about, right? So I'm sure it's hard for you to be a player and a coach at the same time, and some people might just feel more called to coach than to play in that season of their life. Who knows? It could be any number of things. Either way, the league is like we've all said, it's young. These are growing pains. It's gonna happen, but like, relax. Let the league grow, man. It's gonna take some time, and let the league grow.
and better yet,
Absolutely.
help it grow instead of
Facts.
complaining about it on the internet.
Facts.
people talking about I haven't watched the game in like 4 years. Why are you?
Like, why don't
watching
you?
on
Yeah,
this thing?
then it's your
Why?
fault. How about we should all be
Yeah.
looking at you?
I watch
Yeah,
every
you
college
know?
lacrosse game, but I don't.
Okay.
Then the hell you gonna
Why?
complain if it doesn't succeed if you're not gonna watch it?
Yeah.
People just need to let the game grow. But since we're talking about people letting the game grow, why don't we talk about growing your own game? So I want you guys to relax and take notes here. There's a segment presented by Lax.com. All right, we're going to take a look at this play. We're going to review it, okay? And I don't know what's going on with me, to be honest, because I've been really appreciating people with 6-foot poles.
Uh-huh.
Let's take a
It looks
look
like
at this.
they're also lacrosse players. That's crazy.
Let's take a look right over here.
Gets the ground ball, goes out into transition, respect the shooter, and they do, but a beautiful job by Matt Christmas here.
Yo, he said He said a double split, made his man touch earth, and he finished with the bucket.
What are we doing, bro?
Hey,
These boys are evolving.
facts. You know
There's
what I
co-
love about this? The
what?
best part about it is the Penn player, as soon as he realized he got beat, you just see him go.
Oh
He just
man,
went,
not again.
oh my God, I just got
Oh,
clipped.
man. He did. He knew.
I don't even
Yeah.
let him turn around yet.
He
Yeah.
got clipped. He knew he got clipped. He's like, oh.
Doing that with
He's
a
like-
pole is so different, dog.
Yeah.
And it was so smooth the way he was doing it, man.
So
He-
smooth.
And I'm gonna tell you right now too, what the interesting part is doing it full length. Doing it full length in the air is like, I mean, that's crazy. That's the side of a man who you should have known if he had the full length of his stick. He didn't choke up at all. He was not going to pass that ball. He was trying to shoot. Your best thing you could have done was just try to get in his way and wait for the follow through. That's what you had to do. But he was using you should have known. And then as a goalie, that release angle is minimum of 12 feet. And you expect to save a ball coming this way from 12 feet high?
Nah, that's going in.
No.
Blowing away.
Blowing away.
Blowing away.
And that's exactly what they teach you. High to low, baby. Blowing away. With a pole, yeah.
Yep.
He's
Yeah,
got
the whole-
he's got 6 goals in 6 games.
Not
Beast.
surprised.
A beast.
Especially you splitting right to left. You hitting that lefty
Son.
as a pole.
Too easy.
Is
You
he a
can get
righty or a
away with-
lefty?
I don't even know, but it don't matter because he had it like that. He could have done either way.
He had a
Well,
man
he
looking
both.
this way and that way.
Yeah. It don't
He must
matter,
be a
man.
righty because the way the Penn player was like, "Oh, you're going right," and
Because
then when he came back, he was like, "Oh, whoa, what,
Bro,
you going that way?"
I tweeted out it is very elite when you have a pole that's dirty with both hands because it's not common that a
At
pole
all.
can use both hands like efficiently. You could get away with just being one-handed as a pole for a lot of your game.
Yeah.
But if you can do both hands, like you ever see a pole switch hands for a ground ball, go for a lefty ground ball,
Never.
but when you see it, you're like, what you on, bro?
Run that back.
Yeah,
What
what
you
you
on?
Yo,
Yeah.
Run that back.
not to change the subject or anything, but just going off this changing hands, real quick story. When I was a senior, we got a new freshman goalie, bro. This dude, an ambidextrous goalie, yo. I'm going down the alley. Right alley. He has his stick in his left hand. I load up. Tell me how this man switch hands in the middle of my wind up. Had me all screwed up, yo.
Hey, that is actually
And bet your
that's so
ass he became the
ill-advised.
starting goalie. He became the
That's
starting
so
goalie that year.
ill-advised. That's so ill-advised, but that's crazy. That's crazy. He got
Yeah.
you. He was like, yeah, I got some for you. He knew he was gonna do that too. I got some for you. Don't worry
Yeah.
about that.
That was
He's
right.
right.
Shout
Insane.
out to my boy Francie.
Matt Christmas.
He's
is
a righty?
Yeah,
Oh.
I was looking because it's very easy Twitter search of his goals. Yeah, he's a righty.
To go for a lefty goal,
Yeah.
lefty.
Bro,
as a
it's a
pole,
coach in
full
Canada
length?
yelling. It's a coach in Canada yelling at his players like, "Why are you switching hands?" We got polls in America.
Switching
Sorry.
hands
I
different
love to
with
see it,
both.
man. I'm about to become the biggest fan of lawn poles. But before I go any more about that, we got to go swing it over to Brian. Brian, who walked that dog this week?
Man, it's hilarious. You say you're gonna get into long poles because the walk the dog this week's not a long pole. I gotta remix it up a little bit. Yeah, I gotta remix it up a little bit because I'm like, who am I gonna give it to? And I'm thinking, I was gonna give it to a player at Fairfield. He's gonna get it later in the season. Not gonna name his name. If you know, you know. So I'm like, who am I gonna do it? Walk that dog. So I'm thinking of walking dogs, right? Lived in New York City a number of years. You have them people that walk the dogs and they have like 4, 5, 6 little dogs and they have a big dog. It's a German Shepherd and a poodle. And you're like, how are they controlling all these little dogs? There's this guy in Princeton, New Jersey, Zachary Green. Defensive midfielder, kind of a two-way guy, does a little bit of everything. Defensive midfielder, assistant coach, lacrosse Twitter, get mad, argue with your mama. It's the hardest position to play in lacrosse. I don't argue. I don't care. Zach Green did a little bit of everything. My man is hitting people, sliding, he's clearing, ground balls. Not a crazy weekend. Princeton 2 games, 2 goals, 5 ground balls. Nothing crazy. Just everywhere, being an absolute pest. Those are the defensive midfielders that I love, that they're everywhere you want on the screen. Then gave us the highlight of the weekend. I'm going to pick up this ground ball, go the length of the field, run somebody over, and score a goal.
Mm-hmm.
Zachary Green from Princeton, you walked that dog. You were a menace the entire weekend, doing a little bit of everything. That dude became a star over the weekend to me. He was the player for Princeton. Because I was trying so hard to make sure I didn't mention him when we talked about the Princeton game before. He walked that dog, did everything for that Princeton defense and offense. Shout out to Zachary Green.
I gotta get you
Jackson Green. I'm sorry.
Did he say Joe Green?
No, I don't know. I think I said Zachary. I have a lot of names going on in my head. It's Jackson
I was
Green.
about to say. Tell me how I'm jogging down the streets of Hoboken and a homeless guy tells me I look like Mean Joe Green.
Because you're black and have a beard.
I said, let me look him up real quick. Yeah, let me see. But I'm like, okay, goddamn.
Do you actually look like me, Joe Green?
I don't think so.
No, he doesn't. I mean, you get it because Diggs. I'm sure you get every lasting dude ever. Like, you look like, you know who you look like?
Jake from State Farm. Yeah.
We back on that again. Y'all already got me with that.
Yo.
That's so crazy. Wait, no. Hold on. No, we said the bobblehead was Jake from State Farm. Now you
that's what we said. That's exactly what we said.
Y'all ain't right.
Yeah.
That's one of the funniest moments in TikTok history. He said
Jake from State Farm.
That was great.
But we'll swing it over to you, Diggs. Can you dig it? Let's get it.
Yeah. So I didn't really get much of a chance to watch a lot of college lacrosse this weekend. I had a very busy weekend. Parents are moving back in town. I got job stuff going on. I was hanging out with my in-laws. I made time for the Hop game, but that was pretty much it. Had a lot of consumed time, but I did get to post something while my parents were moving. They had up in their kitchen one of my, so you know how when you play youth lacrosse and you can get like photo packages, you can get like wallet prints, and it's like your roster picture.
Mm-hmm.
So in case people didn't see it on Twitter, I have like a trading card, and it's just me playing 8th grade lacrosse. Hold on, it might not take.
Yo, send it to me. I'll put it up.
Okay, I'm gonna send you the photo. And I posted it, and I was like, "Yo, I was a demon," and I was just laughing about it. And my "Can you dig it" goes to @2handscoop on Twitter. Because there were a couple people, I think a total of like, it was like 2handscoop, Evan Grimes, and like Todd Tobias or something like that. Everyone was like asking for the card. They were like trying to buy it off me. You know, like, "Yo, can you sign it and send it to me?" Like, "Yo, look, that, do you have the set? Like, do you know your other teammates who have it?" And I trading cards aren't really my thing. I respect it, but it's not really my thing. So I thought I was like kind of crazy. I was like, "Why do you want my 8th grade lacrosse picture?" But 2handscoop said, hold on. I'm getting all distracted. I just sent it to you, Scotty, so maybe you can put it up while I'm talking. 2handscoop said, "Yo, that card might like mean something someday, or like, you know, that card might be like important to look back on someday." And it had me thinking. I was like, I usually don't really put a lot of weight in what strangers think about me, but when that feedback is like, what's the word I'm looking for? I just lost the word I'm looking for. When someone's like, when they have like a positive outlook on your potential, I feel like that kind of rings true. And I was like, okay. And then I started thinking about it in perspective. There we go. I started thinking about it in perspective, and I was like, okay, what if like Charles Barkley or Emmett Smith or like Randy Jackson, like if you had a card of them playing their sport in 8th grade, that would be so dope. And I was like, man, that's cool that somebody thinks that about me. So 2handscoop, that's a nice thing to say. I can dig that.
Yo, that is a nice thing to say. And you know how I be talking to myself all the time, Diggs. And everybody knows that I have conversation with myself.
Me too.
And I was having a conversation with myself about having a spam account. But instead of having A mean spam account?
A
I was
nice
thinking
one.
of having a nice spam account.
That would
Like
defeat
the
the purpose.
positive
'Cause-
troll.
Yeah. Let me cleanse your timeline. You're like, oh yeah, that's
Exactly.
crazy. Have a nice day. Something simple.
At timeline cleanser.
Like that's
At
it.
Black Twitter timeline cleanser.
I'm just trying to make people smile. But yeah, that's dope, man. And I think you're right. Like I think you're always your hardest critic and everything. I think that goes for everyone. But when another person tells you how much they value you or how much you're valued by other people, I think it starts to mean a whole lot to you.
Can I say one thing?
It's cool. Yeah.
When you said Randy Jackson things, the first Randy Jackson I thought about was Randy Jackson from the Jackson 5. And then I realized, I'm like, no, I think that's a baseball player. So I was like, why would Randy Jackson have his own card? I was like, Michael Jackson, I don't think have a card, but
Yeah. Randy Johnson, the
Randy
pitcher for the
Johnson.
Diamondbacks.
The Yankees too. Don't forget.
No, he was way sicker on the Diamondbacks.
Okay. I didn't
Anyway.
watch baseball. So yeah, Randy Jackson from the Jackson 5 is who I thought of when you said
That's
like,
crazy.
Randy Jackson's retired. You know who's not retired? Shane A. Smith. Let's go.
First of all,
I love that's a meme now.
first of all, I did a little research on a couple of teams I've been paying attention to. Did you know that in 20 years, men's lacrosse has not had a winning season? Did you know that?
Run that back one more time.
Did you know that Wagner men's lacrosse has not had a winning season?
I think I did know that.
In this year, 2025, they're 0-6. The head coach has changed multiple times. In the last 10 years, the most games that they've won is 6. And every year after that, 3, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2. I have a question. I can't emphasize this enough. Is someone alive in that athletic office?
Yeah.
And I mean, if you throw a mirror in front of their mouth, does it fog? Not just a body. I need is someone breathing air in that athletic office to have multiple coaches in the same position and still not be able to get it? I just need to know. I just need to know. I got one word for you. I don't know who this athletic office is. I don't know who's running that program. I got one word for you. 4 letters. FOLD. Fold that damn program. Fold it. You mean to tell me you have multiple coaches in the same seat for the same team and you can't get more than 7 wins in a season? Fold the team. Fold the team. Fire everybody. Everybody. I cannot stress this enough. Fold the team. Fire everybody. You're not fogging the mirror. Something wrong with you.
Damn.
And that's all I got to say about that.
That's Wagner. Wasn't expecting Wagner to be in any discussion today.
The entire season.
You are solely responsible for UMass Lowell getting their first win in 1,000 days.
1,000 days.
Why you worded like that?
In 1,000 days.
Folks
That's
graduated thinking they would never get a win in their lifetime. And you gave it to them. You gave it to them.
Yo, that's
They would have
so
given
crazy.
1,000 years in 1,000 days.
Dog.
And let me just read, let me just read this down for you. Next game, they got NJIT, loss. Next game, they got Cleveland State, loss. Next game, they got Robert Morris, loss. After that, they got Long Island University, LIU, loss. Lemoyne, loss. Detroit Mercy, loss. VMI, loss. Mercyhurst, loss. If you walk out of there with one game, I'm going to be more mad than if you got skunked all season. Because that tells me somebody on that team is still moving and breathing. I need to know who is in that seat.
March 8th is that NJIT game. Maybe I'll check that out just for the hell of it.
Hey, Smith, you taking Mercyhurst to beat them? A first-year Division I program?
Mercyhurst only got one win.
At this point, they already doing better than them. At this point.
Yeah.
At this point.
That's crazy. It's hilarious.
There are freshmen on that Wagner team that have not tasted victory yet. I'm taking them.
Oh God.
We're gonna have to see. I'm keeping an eye on you. I want you to prove me wrong now, but you won't.
Damn, dude, that 0-6 is loud. They got stomped against Manhattan, stomped against Hofstra, stomped against Mount St. Mary, UMass Lowell 1 game, Monmouth by 9, Sacred Heart by 14.
Dog, imagine being on the team for that UMass Lowell game.
Yo, what?
And being that close to winning, and you got to go to practice the next day.
Yep. Yo, what? I always wonder what coaches say in these situations, bro.
Hey,
how am I going to motivate you as a man?
Right.
Let me tell you what they say. Hey guys, we just got to get out there and have fun. Okay, we just got to get out there and have fun. Hey, they bleed like we do, right? They bleed just like us.
They playing in the same weather we're playing in. Okay,
they're playing in the same weather we're playing. Hey, we can have a day,
same way.
fellas. We can have a day. We just have to go out there and execute. Okay.
They're gonna put him in the film room and have him watch Remember the Titans. That's what they're gonna have him.
Oh, that's crazy.
For the team.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Nah, it's all bad.
It's tough for Wagner.
I'm gonna tell you genuinely. I pay attention. I pay close attention to Wagner. Every time they play, I'm like, all right.
Why?
Let me see what you're gonna do.
Why? Yeah. What are you? Are you bored?
Let me tell you something. Yeah, no. Let me tell you something.
I'm not bored.
I did my research one day. And I looked back and I said, has Wagner ever won a game? Ever had a winning season? And I went back and I kept going back. And I kept going back. And I kept going back.
Just kept pulling you in.
And I just was like, either this is the greatest money laundering front I've ever seen in my entire life, or there is something, or this team is cursed. They had to have gone to New Orleans one time for a game and got cursed. There is no other option. I can't believe it. And they have multiple new head coaches too. It's not the same guy.
You know who the previous head coach was?
Who?
Matt Posque.
Okay, who's that?
From Virginia?
Yeah, Matt Posque.
Yeah,
Matt Posque.
He was nice at Virginia.
He was nice. Yep.
I'll tell you that. And then it was Bill McCutcheon, 2-12. I'm at 2019, 10-4, 2017, 6-9, 2016, 6-9, 2015, 4-9, 2014,
you don't believe me, Brian?
2-11.
No, I'm just saying, when did he? I had no idea he coached them. I'm not saying that he did your
in 2014.
Yeah, he coached them for a while, and then he went to Montclair State, where I used to have to play against him. But we'll move on to the next segment. I don't want this to turn into us just giving Wagner a whole day over here. Okay, because this is Wagner's right across the Hudson.
Yeah,
from me.
Shane
That's
not
pretty
safe.
unbelievable. But yeah, we can stop there.
You're not safe in Staten Island anymore now.
That was
Okay.
crazy.
All I got to do is be caged. They can't hit me.
Hey, yo.
Okay, so going into our pick'ems to end the show for today, Scotty went 3-2 this week. Now has a record of 16-9. Shane went 3-2, 14-11. Brian went 3-2, 16-9, and Diggs wins the week by going 4-1. Now he's 14-11. All right.
Gotta talk to me nice.
Talk to me nice or don't talk at all. What you mean, huh? I don't know why I keep on doing
Stupid.
it, but I love it.
I'm going 5-0 next week.
No, you're not.
Put money on it. Put money on that. Put money on that.
He just admitted he's picking Syracuse to win. So, all right, cool.
That's
That makes that
insane.
easier.
That's
That's
crazy.
so insane.
That
That's crazy that that's where his mind went.
That's
Yeah,
gonna make
he's
this
like,
week
yeah.
so much. That's gonna make this week.
I'm never gonna pick
Hopkins.
it against Hopkins. Period. I don't care
Yeah.
who they play.
And you're
I'd
already
be
Yeah,
unranked.
I can't wait to see that group chat. I can't wait to see that group chat on
He's
Saturday.
already 0-1.
It's
He's
gonna be
already
fun.
0-1 because you're gonna pick.
It's gonna be fun.
I'm about to be at that Princeton Rutgers game, watching New Jersey battle.
The battle for New Jersey.
The Battle of New Jersey. All right, but that's a wrap here on Stick Talk. All right, once again, share the podcast with your friends. It's your boy, Scotty, Brian, Shane, and Diggs signing off.